Welcome to the RadioU podcast. Coming up, why Funko might be finished.
Also, 21 Pilots just performed at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
All that and more on the way next. Does everything sound okay? Does anything sound any different? Today, 8772 RadioU. It feels a little different in here because I'm not wearing a hat.
I can't stop looking at your hairline.
And so many people listening right now probably didn't even realize, because they're not subscribed to the RadioU Mornings YouTube channel, that I'm always wearing a hat. And today, because I finally lost at football picks, despite a pretty stellar 3-2 week, I lost in our football picks, and so I had to go hatless.
Yeah. Your stellar 3-2 picks were defeated by my stellar 5-0 picks.
Mm-hmm. It's about time. It makes up. Are you above 500 yet?
Neither of us are.
So here I am without a hat, and I'll be this way throughout the show. So if you do go to the RadioU Mornings YouTube channel today, there will be clips from the show where I'm not wearing a hat, and there's going to be like on YouTube Shorts and stuff. The majority of people are going to watch, and it's not going to look any different because they have never seen it before.
Yeah.
It's just a normal guy without a hat.
Just normal.
But to me, this is very different. To us, this is very different. This is different than how things are every day.
Yeah, completely different and out of the norm. But I will say, I feel like this punishment was all just it was a plan. This punishment was planned, obviously.
Yeah, we've been planning it for weeks, I just keep winning.
And you kept winning,
yeah.
And we felt like, and I didn't use it when I should have used it, which was when I had the tiebreaker, but I didn't realize I had the tiebreaker. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it's never going to happen. We're never going to be able to see Hudson's forehead. And then finally it happened this week. But I feel like this punishment was a plan to just promote the YouTube channel.
It's working. It's working, I hope. The RadioU morning subscribers numbers, I can see them climbing right now.
Although according to Susanna, she was afraid to see your forehead.
Why?
I don't know. I think she said she was like, actually, we're afraid of it, and that's why you never lost, because we don't actually want that punishment to happen. And I was like, well, we can't control any of that, but fair enough.
Yeah, we've been fixing the games.
Right.
The fix has been in this whole time. I think this is going to be great for the YouTube channel.
Yeah?
I think this is going to be a great promotion.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I feel like it was all a plan.
Not just because it gives people a reason to go check it out if they never have before, which I'm skeptical that even makes sense, because if they weren't subscribed, they wouldn't have known I'm always wearing a hat until today.
Yeah.
But
well, they can go back and look at all the thumbnails.
They'll see the glorious hair, the luscious locks, and I think that could be a big positive as well.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that might really... I mean, I have a thick head of hair.
You do.
It's pretty thick.
You do. I as well, but yes.
I would consider it a little unruly. But
is that why you wear hats all the time?
Well, you know what? My hat thing started long before my hair was,
was long?
It was long at all.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people probably don't realize that either. You have long hair.
I have long hair. I am kind of due for a haircut for sure.
Okay.
But, I did grow up having a buzz cut all the time. Because that's what my mom could do. She could do that or mullet. Those are the two choices.
Mullet.
And so I didn't choose that. And so...
Dang, I want to see Hudson with a mullet.
I've never had a mullet, although I've been accused. Because under a hat you can't tell.
Yeah,
it's long behind.
You push it all back. Mm-hmm. You push it all back, and so it kind of does look like a mullet.
But it's never been. There's been multiple family members of mine that have had mullets. Not me though.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was the haircuts. Either mom could buzz it, or
she could randomly do a mullet.
Or she could do a mullet, which she did. Oh, wrong. She could also do a mohawk.
Oh.
Because my brother had a mohawk when he was growing up.
Oh yes, that was a classic look.
And I don't know which was more of a conversation piece, the mullet or the mohawk.
Yeah.
But say what you want about that hair. It got people talking.
Sure.
Probably more than my hair will. The reason we lost the reason I'm hatless is because I lost at football picks. We'll talk about the NFL and our headlines from the week coming up next. Subscribe to the RadioU Mornings YouTube channel to see me hatless today. Normally, I'm always wearing a hat, so you can also subscribe to see me normally wearing a hat in every other video. The reason I have no hat is because I lost at football picks yesterday. and I was fine in college. It was the NFL that tripped me up.
Yeah.
Yesterday was I think it was a crazy day in the NFL.
It was. I mean, what was going on with Buffalo? I mean, I saw that halftime score, and I had not been watching the games yet at that point in the day. And so I just saw the score, and it was 16-0 at halftime. I was like, what?
Yeah.
They were playing the Dolphins.
I don't get it. It was bad weather. It was horrible weather.
Okay.
But I was thinking, the Bills must have, just maybe they did fumble it. They had some turnovers, but I was like, that must have been the reason, right? But Tua also threw 2 interceptions for the Dolphins.
Yeah, I was going to say, if it's bad weather, why are the Dolphins playing good? They're from Miami.
Yeah, well, it was in Miami. It was bad, bad rain.
Okay.
So, yeah, that's what they're used to, I guess. Those random rainstorms. So, I don't know. Yeah, that one, it's almost like so inexplicable that you just have to not think about it, Well,
I also think maybe the Buffalo Bills are a little hungover from a big emotional game against the Chiefs last week.
That's a good point.
Maybe?
That's a good point. And they, in Miami too, a lot of time, this happens to teams where it's almost like a vacation, especially after a big game where you beat Kansas City. You go to Miami and you're not taking it as seriously. It's not a business trip. It's a little more of a vacation. But
especially if you're in Buffalo, New York.
It is concerning though for the Bills that they've had a couple of just losses because they lost to the Falcons too.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, just games that don't make any sense. I'll tell you 2 teams that I think are fraudulent, and then 1 team that I was impressed with. First of all, the Bears are just absolute frauds. They only beat now granted, Caleb Williams engineered a game-winning drive, but that was only because Jackson Dart got knocked out of the game against the Giants. He got knocked out with a concussion in the fourth quarter. If he was still playing, the Giants would have won. The Bears are the luckiest team. They keep winning all these games in the last minute, and they're frauds. Yeah,
I would agree.
The other team, not that anybody's taking them particularly seriously, but I've watched quite a bit of Ravens-Vikings. J.J. McCarthy is a fraud.
Yeah.
I don't even know if anybody believes in him, but the Vikings are bad. I don't know if they should have stuck with Sam Darnold because he's obviously been great with the Seahawks. I don't know if I necessarily believe that. Yeah. But, I mean, anything is better than J.J. McCarthy right now. He is not good.
No, he's not. And, the Vikings are going to be looking for another quarterback next season, I would imagine. So, yeah, that was not great. I will say some things I really loved to see over the weekend was one of my Buckeyes doing so well. Travion Henderson. I mean, come on. 2 touchdowns, both for over 50 yards. 55-yard for one, 69-yard for another. He is having such an amazing rookie season, and I love to see it. Not a Patriots fan, but I am a Buckeye fan first and foremost. And so I'm happy for him to see him find so much success in the NFL right away.
The Patriots they're for real. They've gotten a couple of massive wins against real contenders. And then the other one was the Chargers last night.
Yeah, they looked good.
They did struggle on offense. It was a very defensive game, and the Steelers defense played well.
5-2.
But the Chargers defense was really impressive. I've watched a lot of Steelers this year, and it's actually been their offense that's been better and their defense that has struggled until the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But the offense, Aaron Rodgers, had no time and was not making great decisions last night.
I mean, he was sacked in the end zone for a safety. That's what made it 3-2, and then it was 5-3, and so it was, as you said, a very defensive game until it wasn't. And then you had some big explosive plays from the Chargers with Ladd McConkey, and I think Vidal had a big touchdown as well. So
Once
crazy
the Steelers
game.
were selling out to try to, turn things over there at the end. But
is that what they were doing?
where you're trying to, stop it to get them to punt at the end of the game to get the ball back, and instead,
backfired.
If you don't get them at the line, then it's over. But the Chargers defense was impressive. It's still going to be tough, for them to win games if they can't manufacture offense without an offensive line. They were still, Justin Herbert was doing the best he could, but he didn't have a lot of time either, and they struggled to run the ball till the end. So it was a good game, but the Chargers impressive on defense. That's gonna keep them in the mix in basically every game. So I know what everyone wants for Christmas this year. 8772 RadioU. Funko Pops.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
because this might be the last Christmas you're able to get them.
Oh.
Yeah. Funko just claimed in a recent SEC filing that they have growing concerns about its future, about their future at Funko. They feel like it might not be sustainable to stay in business as a company because, for example, this is a pretty big problem. Their worldwide sales are down 14% year over year. In the United States, specifically, sales are down 20%. That's bad. That is not good.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
They are blaming the challenging retail environment. And so, it's making people not able to spend as much on frivolous things such as Funko Pops. And therefore, they have all these Funko Pops and they're not selling it quite as quickly as they want them to. So if you want a Funko Pop, like this might be the last Christmas, you can get new ones.
This might be the last one. Yeah, this was my moment to learn an accounting term when I read this article.
Okay.
So I saw the title of this article was that Funko had, concern, like going concern, that they wouldn't actually be able to stay in operation for the next 12 months. So going concern is an accounting principle that assumes a business is stable and will continue to operate for the foreseeable future, typically at least the next 12 months. And they'll be able to meet financial obligations. We'll be able to create, generate income, all of that stuff. And so they're worried about that. They don't think they have that. And
Well,
so I
like
thought
the
there
word
was a
here.
misspelling. I was like, growing concerns, going concerns? I was like, what is this?
I like the quote, they have substantial doubt about its ability to continue as a going concern.
Yeah.
So it's not looking great for Funko. And I feel like this makes a lot of sense. Funkos aren't necessarily super cheap. They're
Right.
definitely unnecessary. And they have manufactured like so many.
Yeah.
It's actually crazy.
Right.
I'm sure they're very cheap to produce, but it does also feel like they spread themselves very, very,
Super
very
thin.
wide. Yeah.
I think that's probably what's more likely to happen is they'll scale back if they have to. But you mentioned, like they're really cheap to make. Apparently, according to the tariff, that has caused issues with their costs for making these Funko Pops. Those have gone up.
Curse you, tariffs.
Yeah.
Coming for our Funko Pops. Do you own any Funko Pops?
I have one that was gifted to me. It was a Britney Spears Funko Pop that I got from a White Christmas gift exchange or White Elephant gift exchange.
Yeah, I do not have any Funkos. It doesn't appeal to me. I don't really get it.
Yeah, I've never really gotten it either, but I think if you are a fan of something, it's, maybe something you would consider buying.
It is, like we mentioned, there's just a Funko. They've made every Funko there possibly could be. So it's like one of those things, especially if you like something kind of somewhat niche, it's like at least you can have this as your little collector's item.
Right.
But that feels like they made just way too many.
Yeah.
So add those Funkos to your Christmas and hopefully it'll help them out. If you're at Target and a cute employee makes eye contact and smiles at you, they're not flirting. Their boss told them to do that. 8772 RadioU. Target in a leaked prompt that has been sent out, a mandate that has been sent out to all employees for the holiday season. Their service reps are instructed to smile and make eye contact if any customer is within 10 feet of them.
That seems pretty standard.
And then also they're supposed to wave or acknowledge you, ask if you need help, or ask how your day is going.
Oh, wow.
If you're within 10 feet of a Target employee, be prepared for them to start asking you questions.
Yeah, I feel like this is something the Best Buy employees have definitely been told to do, and they've been doing for years, because as soon as you walk into Best Buy, none of them are busy at all. And so they're like, how can I help you today? Have you been able to find some assistance in this area?
Yeah.
Whatever. Like,
Oh my
I mean, 5 employees will come your way and talk to you this, which can be annoying, but also if you need help, that truly is helpful.
Yeah.
Because I've had the opposite happen, where I've been in a grocery store and I do need help finding something, and I'm trying to find an employee employee, but any employee I find, none of them are making eye contact with you. They're trying to avoid making eye contact with you and look so busy that, like, if you tried to bother them and ask them a question, you're ruining their day. And so I think we need to find the happy medium. I don't want the 5 employees coming at me, but I also don't want the employees completely trying to avoid me.
I don't know. Why can't there just be like a station? Can't we just have like a kiosk in each department?
But then you would have to find that kiosk.
There'd be a big sign, like
an information sign?
Yeah,
like at the mall?
Big and obvious. I think that would be helpful because
they don't have the staff to staff those though, right? Those would be left unmanned a lot, wouldn't they?
I don't know, how many do you want? How many? Maybe not for each department.
Yeah,
but like
you said for each department. I think that would be a bit much.
At Walmart, they do have a couple departments that always have employees there.
Or at least they should.
Yeah, to unlock things for you that don't need to be locked up in the first place.
I've walked over to the jewelry and watch section so many times. There should be an employee there every time.
Yeah.
Because you need somebody to unlock something. And there's never, sometimes there's never anyone there. And I'm like, this is a section that should always be manned.
Yeah, seriously. But doesn't Target understand, though, that we have anxiety? Like, I don't want to be answering these questions from people. I just want to buy some soap or something.
How is your day going?
No, not from a stranger at Target.
They're just an employee.
I'm not telling you how my day is going. Leave me alone. I'm trying to shop here.
I would just say, I'm good, thanks.
I'm going online. I'm going to Target.com. That's probably what they want anyways.
Yeah, so you're just antisocial.
If I can't find, I always have this philosophy, if I can't find something myself, I don't need it. If I go into Best Buy and I can't find a printer, then I'm not getting one.
You're the classic man that's never going to ask for help. Never going to ask for directions.
I'm at a store. I shouldn't need help.
Yes.
If I can't find it, you made it too complicated and I'm leaving.
But what if the store has recently been remodeled and the stuff you knew where it was, now it's been moved?
Well, now I have a chance to dilly-dally, don't I? Now I have a chance to get my steps in.
Maybe
this is what happened at Walmart like a year ago. They ripped up everything, flipped it around. I hate it now. But there are many things I still don't know where they are in this Walmart because I avoid going to it because I don't like how everything's locked up.
Yeah, no, that's annoying.
But I'm not going to ask one of their employees for help. I mean, that's what Walmart.com is for. If you go on the website for a lot of these places and you put in the store that you're at, it'll tell you the aisle of the thing you're looking for.
Yeah.
The problem is they also list all the things that off-site retailers are selling that they ship to you. And so then you have this whole list of stuff that's not actually at Walmart or Target or whatever it is. Why do they do that? That's annoying, but that's neither here nor there, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, for me, I don't have any issues with an employee asking me how my day is going. In fact, I do think that is rather nice of them, even if they're forced to do it. I'm not going to stand there and talk to them for 10 minutes, but I'll just say, like, doing good, how are you? Something like that. Like, I don't have any issues with that.
Do you want employees at stores asking you how you're doing? And if you need help finding stuff, 8772 RadioU. I want to know, what does the majority of people think?
I feel like that is their job. Like if they're there, they should be able and available to help you.
They should, but they don't need to be. If you needed help, you would ask for it.
But this takes the onus off of you as the customer.
But they're putting pressure on me.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are.
Just say no. What's the pressure in that?
Talking about how Target has a new mandate. They call it the 10-4 program that they want their employees to take part in for the holidays. It states that if you walk within 10 feet of a Target employee, they are instructed to either smile and make eye contact and either greet or wave at you. Which I love the idea of an employee waving you over there. And then if you step within 4 feet of them, they are supposed to ask whether you need help or how your day is going. And I feel like I don't want to answer these questions, and it's already making me anxious just thinking about it.
Just don't go to Target.
Allie's like, I want help, but I can't go to Walmart. Because they literally, and Regina pointed this out, they literally like sell space to salesmen that don't even work for Walmart to sell you stuff.
That needs to go away because those people aren't trying to help you find stuff in the store. They're trying to make you buy extra stuff that you don't need. Although I remember when we talked about this with your Walmart experience and how uncomfortable that made you. My cousin Kathy mentioned that she's run into that problem before at different grocery stores. And she literally, every time someone walks up to her and tries to sell her something, she's like, oh, I already have that service, and just moves on.
Yeah.
And she's like, that shuts them down immediately.
There are some good ways to go about that. I just ignore them because I don't think that's wrong.
I can't do
that. I feel bad for them because it's their job, but also they agreed to it to be their job. But I don't feel bad ignoring them. I just feel bad that they have to do that all day. But another good solution, I think it was a former employee here that said, just tell them your parents pay for everything. But talking about, do you want like an actual Target employee to ask if you need help? I say no.
Okay.
I say if I can't find something, they made it too complicated,
and you're
or
leaving
I
the
don't
store
need
without it. Okay.
But Regina says, doesn't Target have the little buttons you can find in departments, and it will page someone over the intercom to come help you?
Okay.
That sounds even worse than them asking me for help.
Yeah, that sounds like it would make a big
calling
scene.
out to the whole store. Hello, someone come help me.
Yeah, I don't think I want to be that extra. But I think that is something at Target. I haven't been to Target in a long time.
I think every store has that and nobody just does anything with it.
Yeah.
But I also feel like that's more for like if you spill a whole display over or something for an employee to come clean it up.
Yeah, like that would be for extreme circumstances.
Unless you just don't know where the duct tape is or whatever.
But I do think Walmart also, I don't know if they've had those pager buttons, but they always have had those little kiosk you can go to and like actually scan something and see how much it costs.
No, I love when stores have that because sometimes I don't trust it.
Yeah, sometimes
especially
you'd
when
like
the
to make sure.
They're disorganized.
Disorganized, or if it's like something, that's been dropped off by somebody in a place where it wasn't supposed to be, and you're like, ooh, I want that, but I don't know how much it is. Or let's say it's something on a discount. It says it's on a discount, but you want to make sure it's actually for sale, and so you just double check with that kiosk.
Yeah, those need to be more prevalent.
Yeah, those are nice.
Yeah, I like those. Why am I already getting like nervous about Christmas shopping?
You're just like, no one talk to me.
Leave me alone. It's stressful enough already. Subscribe to the Radio U Mornings YouTube channel. On Friday, we tried the new Mountain Dew Baja Blast pie from Taco Bell. If you go try to get that today, it very well might be sold out. Very limited edition. You can see what we thought, though, on the Radio U Mornings YouTube channel. You'll also later today see clips from the show today where I don't wear a hat for the first time ever on the show. The first time ever. So go subscribe, Radio U Mornings YouTube channel. Why am I not wearing a hat? Because I lost in our football picks, so this is my punishment for today. However, I did great at college. We both had a clean sweep in college, 3-0. We got our upsets right and everything.
Yeah, it was impressive for sure because we picked the same when it came to the two college games we were picking. We picked the same teams, which was Texas Tech over BYU and Oregon over Iowa, which was looking a little uncertain for a while.
That was a fun game, though.
It was a very fun game, and I knew it was going to be low scoring. I think I mentioned that in our segment. I knew it was going to be low scoring and a highly defensive game because the weather was predicted to be pretty bad, and it was in Iowa. And so, that's exactly what ended up happening. But Oregon pulled it out in the end. And then, as you said, we both got our upsets right. I picked Tulane over Memphis. You picked UConn over Duke.
Yeah, I feel like it was a weekend where none of the top contenders went down. Indiana escaped with an amazing touchdown versus Penn State, which. I when I watched that live, I was like, there's no way he was in bounds. And then sure enough, like
he was
just barely. Omar Cooper Jr. makes the catch to give Indiana the win. But I feel so none of the top major contenders went down. But I feel like it was a weekend where a lot of the teams that were like, oh, could this team sneak into the playoff? And it was like, no, this team cannot sneak into the playoff. Iowa, Washington,
BYU
went down. They still stand a chance, but Missouri,
Virginia, Louisville,
a lot of these like fringe teams where it's like maybe they stand a chance. Even you called it the Memphis with the upset in for the group of five team went down. It just kind of proves that there's like about 10 teams that are real playoff contenders that like can actually win a game or two in the playoffs, and then there's a bunch of these other teams that. Like it's a clear step below. They've been pretenders
for a while.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I think Missouri, I don't know if their quarterback is still down, but I think that pretty much sealed their season to be.
Yeah, they couldn't move. They could not throw the ball against Texas A&M with their backup.
Yeah, but I think Bo Prabula is still out, so that's stinks for them. But yeah, I think overall, the weekend, probably the worst for the ACC because you saw Virginia go down. You saw Louisville go down. Miami won against Syracuse. But yeah, this just guarantees.
Syracuse is playing a lacrosse player at quarterback. Yeah, so it's not really saying much.
Not much, but I just mean they didn't lose. And that seems to be a feat for the ACC right now. But yeah, I think we kind of already said this with the rankings coming out last Tuesday. This just guarantees, it really locks this into place that the ACC is a one-bid league.
But there is going to be, it's not necessarily, it could still be Georgia Tech or Miami or Louisville. I mean, Louisville lost. It could still be a team that kind of makes sense, but it also could still be Duke, who lost to UConn, but still only has one loss in the ACC.
You mean that wins the ACC?
Yeah. We're going to get one or two absolute nonsense teams in this playoff.
Potentially.
And that is the struggle of the 5 conference champions making it in, which I don't know if that's the wrong thing to do, but I'm just telling you, the 2 bottom teams, seeds 11 and 12 in the playoff, are going to be... It's going to be ridiculous.
Yeah, well, I think
it's going to be silly seeing them line up against Georgia or Texas A&M, whoever it is.
The only way we were going to get an expanded playoff was if they guaranteed to get the conference champion in. Like, that was the only way these conferences were actually going to agree to this, which is why we need a football commissioner in college football, because we can't have all these conferences out just for themselves, because it's just not best for the sport when that happens.
No, definitely not. You saw over the weekend, right? 21 Pilots performing for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony.
Yep.
They did their rendition of Seven Nation Army, which is that. That is the White Stripes who just got inducted. 21 Pilots did their take on it. Allie, what did you think of the masks the 21 Pilots was wearing?
Those were interesting. Those were like White Stripes, weren't they?
That's what I interpreted. But I saw a clip where it was like a close-up, and it looked like they had words on them. But I couldn't make it out, because obviously it was like playing.
I'm seeing an HD video right now here, and to me, it almost looks like they're bedazzled.
Oh, is that what it was?
It almost looks like it has like little dots on it.
Yeah, there was like some kind of detail on it. It wasn't like...
It doesn't look like words from what I'm seeing with this close-up shot of Tyler.
But that was, I mean, that's what it was though, right? It was literally white stripes.
Yep.
And it was covering their faces for most of it, as if to say, this is not about us, it's about the White Stripes.
I kind of love that.
Yeah.
Great move by 21 Pilots. I watched the whole performance video from them, and they did a fantastic job. Tyler did an amazing job singing the song, and we knew they were going to crush it.
Yeah.
But one thing that kind of made me chuckle a little bit, I love Seven Nation Army. It's an iconic song, but you would have to think, for Jack White, is it annoying to you that one of your most simplistic songs is your top song? Like, it actually is a very simplistic song. It kind of reminds me of like Smoke on the Water. Like, it's just like the same thing over and over and over again. But yet these are the songs that end up being sometimes the most iconic for a certain band.
Yeah.
I just wonder sometimes in the back of my head, like, does that actually annoy them? Like, the more intricate songs that they put a lot of effort into, not that they don't put effort into Seven Nation Army, but the more intricate and like way more artistic sometimes doesn't do as well as something that's really simple.
That's the life of a creator, isn't it?
Right.
Because we can do a segment that we think is like written out, or like or anybody on TikTok, you're like, this is going to be the TikTok that blows up. I put so much preparation into it and it goes nowhere.
Yeah.
And then you just, film something at a gas pump, and all of a sudden that's your biggest TikTok. So this is just life. But I do think with Seven Nation Army, there's something about the like making the simplistic, if it was so easy to make a simple song that everybody loved, way more people would do it, right?
Yeah, no.
Like there's still something to it. But I'm sure there's other songs he's more proud of that are more well crafted.
Right. There's absolutely nothing wrong with the song. I'm not trying to say that it's a boring song or anything like that, but I just thought it was funny to like that thought crossed my mind, because I was like, if you're watching that video, you've got a 2-piece band basically making it work, and you don't really need much else. And so it is a rather simple song, and yet that is the most iconic from the White Stripes.
I did feel a little bad for 21 Pilots watching the performance. Did you feel like the crowd was a little, like, I'm assuming it was just, these are bands that have been around a while because they're getting inducted to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, so obviously they've been around for years. Even though they have a bunch of other performers that are more current inducting them or performing like 21 Pilots. But I felt like the crowd must have been a little older and like a little lower energy.
They were a little subdued. I mean, they were clapping to the
like
beat of the song.
A wine and cheese crowd.
Yeah.
You know?
And that might be just because, like you said, because it's an older crowd. I've been to, I went to an Eagles concert. Mm-hmm. No one was standing. No one. Half the crowd has knee replacements.
So it felt like it wasn't the typical 21 Pilots crowd, to say the least.
Oh, absolutely not. That crowd is singing every word at the top of their lungs. And so, and I think also half of it might have been people just being like, what are they wearing? What's on their faces?
Right. It's our Monday tradition, the box office breakdown, looking at what made money and what didn't in theaters over the weekend. Let us know what you've seen lately at 8772 Radio U. Allie, do you know what the number one movie in America was this weekend?
My guess is probably Predator.
Predator, Badlands. Got to number one, ending the reign of, how do you say it, Mason Thames? Is it Thames? Thames?
I think it's Thames.
Thames. He's not in Predator Badlands.
No.
He had a run of being in both Black Phone 2 and Regretting You, who had dominated, kind of.
October.
They were the number one movies in a very paltry box office the last few weeks.
Yeah.
Predator Badlands made about $40 million in North America.
That was probably more than all the box office combined for October.
Yeah, seriously. So a pretty solid weekend for Predator Badlands. I did not get out and see that, but I am looking forward to checking it out because it looks really cool. The reviews are good. And plenty of people did go see it. So if you did, let us know at 8772 Radio U. Coming in at number 2 was the aforementioned Regretting You.
Okay.
Which made another $7 million. And then number 3 was the aforementioned Black Phone 2.
Okay.
Rounding out the top 3 with another $5 million. Hopefully we're getting into the time of year where the movies start to pick up a little bit.
I would hope so. And I do think there are some more big films coming that are going to kind of resurrect the box office after having such a gloomy past couple of months. Definitely Wicked for good. That's going to be a big one.
There were so many trailers for that playing during Sunday Night Football last night.
Yeah, they're really going to ramp up the marketing for it. I know you had mentioned, you're like, I haven't really seen anything for it.
Only thing I saw was that deodorant commercial with Bo and Yang. That was the only thing. And now,
which is like loosely related.
Right. Now, last night I saw like every commercial stop set.
Yeah.
That's what we call them in the biz.
That's what, yeah.
Had a Wicked for good in these commercials, which really frustrated me.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I want to turn this game off.
Well, I think it's about to get worse for you because I have a feeling it's going to really ramp up as we get closer and closer to that. It comes out, I think, Thanksgiving weekend?
You know what? I saw the trailer so many times, I don't even know.
You were just tuning it out.
Yeah, 8772 Radio U. Let us know what you've watched recently, your reviews. We just got one in from Mark for a new movie that actually came out this weekend. And so we'll see what Mark watched recently and what all of you have watched recently and what Allie and I have watched recently coming up. We just did the box office breakdown. Predator Badlands was number 1, unseating Mason Thames. We just learned that is how you pronounce his name, who has been in every number 1 movie for the past month.
Yeah.
Somehow or another. I don't want to waste too much time on this, but we did figure out that it's definitely, in his case, pronounced Mason Thames.
Yeah.
It's crazy that when you go to Hollywood, right, you become an actor or an actress or whatever. You get to choose. You can be whatever name you want.
Yeah, you could change your name.
Why wouldn't you just choose something that's easy to pronounce?
But then it could be forgettable.
Or he could have changed the pronunciation, or not the pronunciation. He could have changed the spelling of his name just to make it simple.
Yeah,
he could have just made. But then, how could you make it more?
I think how he pronounces it is actually how it's spelled.
So how could he have changed
And so I think he's actually fine. I feel like everybody else that has the name Thames or Thames or however you want to say it, or if you're from the UK, Thames, because it's spelled the same way for the River Thames, but it's pronounced that way.
Which is much more well known.
Much more well known. But also the Brits pronounce things very strangely.
They definitely do.
Like Berkeley is how we would see it. It would be Barclay, but they say Berkeley. And we would spell Berkeley with Berkley, and they spell it Barclay, and they still pronounce it Berkeley. And so, I just feel like wherever you're from, you're going to hear different pronunciations. But Mason, how he says it actually is how it would be for us Americans. Like, that makes sense how it's spelled.
Good point. He could have, let's just call him Mason. We're talking about what you've seen lately at 8772 Radio U. Mark let us know that he just watched Sarah's Oil, which just came out this weekend starring Zachary Levi.
Yeah,
it wasn't as wide of a release.
Yeah, I saw an ad for this just literally yesterday. I had not seen anything for it, and it came up on like a YouTube ad for me, and I was like, oh, what's this?
Well, I can tell you, Sarah's Oil is inspired by the remarkable true story of Sarah Rector, an African-American girl born in Oklahoma Indian Territory in the early 1900s who believes there's oil beneath the barren land she's allotted and whose faith is proven right. As gritty oil sharks close in, Sarah turns to her family friends and some Texas wildcatters to maintain control of her oil-rich land, eventually becoming among the nation's first female African-American millionaires at 11 years old.
Wow.
And somehow the movie stars Zachary Levi.
Yeah.
Explain that to me.
Explain this.
But Mark says, saw Sarah's Oil. It was great. No time to elaborate.
Oh.
So we'll just have to find out for ourselves.
Yeah, we'll have to watch it eventually.
But that was actually the number 4 movie in America this weekend.
Okay. All right.
Allie, what have you watched lately?
Over the weekend, I finally watched Weapons. It just came out on HBO Max on Friday, or maybe the Friday before that.
Yeah, I think it was last week.
Yeah, and so I finally watched it, and man, it is an absolute masterclass on suspense by Zach Krieger. I think it's a great movie, a great mystery that's being solved, which to me, that's my favorite type of horror movies, like The Ring and movies like that, where you have to solve a mystery and it includes horror elements, because I love murder mystery, and so it's like combining two of my favorite genres and putting them together. I don't want to give any spoilers, but I feel like it has a pretty satisfactory ending. It gets a little bit gory, but overall an enjoyable horror movie for me.
Yeah, there was 2 scenes when I had seen Weapons a few weeks ago where I had to look away.
Oh, yeah.
One was near the end.
Oh, yeah.
Where
It's
I
bad.
was like, and I don't even know, I guess I looked away, so I don't even know. I didn't think they showed you much of the one thing that I was really worried about at the end, but I didn't want to see it if they did.
Yeah.
So either way, I did see Weapons 2 a while back, and I agree. I feel like you liked it more than me, but I also don't like horror movies.
You don't like horror movies, but you watched it, so that's a good thing.
Yeah. I watched the new Fantastic Four First Steps because that just got onto Disney Plus, and I gotta say, I really wanted to like it more. I was so like, they just kind of throw you into it. They don't give it a lot of backstory, which I appreciate. Like, we all know who the Fantastic Four are, and even if we don't, they're superheroes. We don't need a lot of history on it. But they don't really give you a lot of time, even though it should be kind of an emotional storyline.
Yeah.
It doesn't, it never feels like there's a lot of weight to it, even though I do think they made a conscious effort to not make it like, this is a movie where the superheroes have to fight to save the world. They do, but that's not what the movie is about. But still, it doesn't feel like there's a lot of
gravitas.
Yeah, yes, exactly. You don't feel very invested in any of the characters because they each get one scene that gives you their personality, but they don't somehow you don't really get a lot of anybody's personality.
I was just saying that with my cousins because they also watched that because it just came out on Disney Plus, and they mentioned the same thing. It's like, I'm not invested in these characters, and I told them, I was like, I have not felt invested in any of the Marvel characters in any of the new Marvel movies since Infinity War and Endgame. After Endgame, I have just not cared because, in my opinion, they have lacked the ability to really grow that type of character development that we had in the 10 years previous. And so it's just been a lot of lackluster films from Marvel recently.
Yeah, I just feel like you didn't feel a lot of, there wasn't any, they don't need to give origin stories.
Yeah.
But there was no backstory to why you should be invested in these people.
Right.
Now, there was things to like about it, very stylish, and there was been worse Marvel movies.
Yeah.
But it just overall just felt kind of like 2 hours of not a whole lot of anything.
Marvel did this to themselves. They set the standard high.
I feel like, Allie, can you get Nikki on the phone?
Let me dial her up real quick.
Nikki, if you're listening, 8772 Radio U. We need her on this. In Japan, bear attacks and bear incidents have been steadily increasing over the past several years. I think, if I remember right, this kind of traces back to COVID, where everybody wasn't out and about for as much. And so the animals started to move into more populated areas because there was no cars, not as many cars going around, people out on the streets, blah, blah, blah.
Right. Like
And
the
so
dolphins swimming in like the canals in Italy or whatever.
Yeah. And so the bears got very comfortable moving closer and closer to actual populated areas in Japan and never really retreated, even after COVID, obviously has gone.
After life turned back to normal.
Exactly. Now, particularly in some northern regions of Japan, the bear incidents just keep happening.
Okay.
More and more. So much so that they're coming up with all these different new guidelines and like suggestions to keep people safe. One of the things that the government is suggesting is that children should always carry empty plastic bottles.
Okay.
To deter the bears.
To throw at the bear?
Not to throw. Apparently, they claim that the bears do not like the sound of you crumpling up.
Oh, the crunching of the water bottle.
A water bottle.
Oh, I don't know anyone that likes that sound.
Yeah.
It does sound really annoying.
I do it every time, though. I like to save space in the recycling, so I crumple up the
like,
water bottles.
Smash!
Yeah.
But if you take your time with it, instead of just like quickly crunching it and like just crash it all around, that gets really annoying.
Yeah, no, I just go one quick crunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you really make the most of it, that's a way to repel a bear, apparently. Which definitely seems like a thing that might work at first, but a thing that bears might get used to and eventually not care about.
They grow a tolerance for it.
Yeah, once they realize the water bottles aren't all that bad.
Right.
But that's one of many measures that is being instituted to try to keep people safe. Also, children, like if they're walking to or from school or just anybody really, should not be carrying food, because obviously that is like the top thing that's going to attract a bear, right?
Yeah.
Or make a bear more interested in you anyways, is if you're carrying food. So they're not supposed to do that. I also saw that the Japanese police have now been authorized to shoot bears.
Wow.
Which
that's how bad it is.
Yeah.
They're going to wipe them out.
They hardly, only of course when it's actually called for.
Yeah.
But Japan notoriously like hardly allows guns at all, so they really don't use them for much. But for bears, they're like, we're making an exception because this is getting out of hand.
If it comes down to, are you going to save a human life or have to kill a bear? You're going to have to kill the bear. And so, yeah, I think that's an option. But I don't know about bear hunting, but I've heard that one shot's not going to kill them. So these police officers better be trained in how to handle that, because you don't want to just make a bear angry and then cause even more harm. You need to have the strength to be able to knock them out pretty quick.
It says that in Japan now, riot police will be deployed with specific teams, including training on bear behavior from local hunting clubs in affected areas where bears are, really wreaking havoc the most.
Yeah.
Why can't we all just get along?
It's hard to ask for bears to get along with us when we're, I guess, taking part of their normal habitat, but they're coming to our territory this time.
What about this? I'm a solutions-oriented guy. I'm not a bear expert like Nikki, but my thinking is, what if we make it somebody's job to plant food in places that are far away from town? And make the bears comfortable. Yeah, exactly.
Honey. Put lots of honey places.
Start putting literal honey pots out in areas that are very far away from people to attract the bears and get them comfortable going to that area.
Yeah.
But then what do they do when we stop putting the honey there?
They have to catch fish. I don't know.
That's a permanent job, I guess. From now until forever.
They make them dependent on the honey.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the RadioU podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.